So statistics definitely show that Black people don't get married as often. Mm-hmm. You already know where I'm going with this probably, like how I feel about family and how I feel about marriage. Mm-hmm. And I think that a stable society is one that's full of families. Well,
that's good because the divorce rate has gone down, apparently.
The divorce rate has gone down, but you know why? Because less people are getting married.
But also, I was reading, this is off topic, but I was reading something and from actually a Black feminist writer, Kimberly Foster. I love her work. Mm-hmm. And she posted an article and it said that like it's lower than it was, I believe, in the 60s where it was like 15 marriages out of like 7,000 were getting divorced. It's lower than that. 15 marriages out of 7,000. So
it's
congrats.
Also probably because everybody's broke and it costs a lot of money.
Can't get divorced. Yeah, that's probably true as well.
No, but that was a joke. No, I like the fact that divorce rate is going down.
Yeah.
I would like to see more marriages increase. And actually, if I'm speaking for my surroundings, from what I see, I'm gonna speak for Black millennial Christians. Uh-huh. I think a lot of that demographic have a desire to be married.
Oh, I agree. I mean, for sure.
But the pickings are slim out here.
Why are they so slim?
Honestly, I don't think it. I think, how do I say this? I feel like our standards have increased in a negative way. Not that it increased. It's like you can scroll on somebody's Instagram and feel like you know everything you need to know about them already.
Yeah.
So there's no like
wavering.
Yeah, that's why like I was talking to this one young lady who just doesn't have like much of a social media presence. Mm-hmm. I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
it was weird at first though. It was weird.
No, it's the best.
But it's great because it's like, man, everything I know about you is based on our conversations, our interactions. Right. I can't just scroll and see what your interactions are like. I'm not looking through your comment. I mean, I've never been that type of person anyway.
Right.
But also, like, I mean, I'm on social media, but I don't really post a whole lot of personal stuff either.
Yeah, you're not huge on like social media like that.
Yeah, so you can't really. I mean, if you go on my Facebook, I've never deleted anything, so you could probably find some history on me. But
don't
whatever.
Say that.
Are you about to?
Don't say that. I'm going to T-Pain you and look up all your old stuff like they did T-Pain. Did you not see that?
Oh, when he went through his DMs for the first time?
No. They've like pulled up all his old tweets and he has like some really foul tweets. Like,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, like whenever XXX, whatever his name was, beat up that girl, he was like, oh, we've all beat up a girl before. Like,
oh my God.
What?
Bro, what are you talking about?
And then after like what happened with Tory Lanez, he was like, I don't know, I really want to make some because, like, are you nuts?
Nah.
Usher was right. You did ruin music. You did. He was right. I love T-Pain, but you can't say that.
He didn't ruin music, though.
Well,
you tripping.
I am. But I'm just saying.
Hey, but don't try to change the subject.
Oh,
this is still about you.
Let's stay on it.
It's still about you. I just think it's a false comparison. Like, it's way more even-minded to think that there are bums everywhere. But you just think there are more Black men bums than anybody else.
I think there are more male bums.
Or male bums.
You don't have to specify.
Why is that? Is it because, okay, if tap out if we need to tap out. Okay. But is it because you were raised by two women?
I don't think so. Because I had male figures in my life that did what they needed to do for their home. I did. But I also have a lot of male white men in my life that I'm like, you're a bum. You're a bum. And you have no reason to be a bum. First of all, you're white. So let's just get that out of there. And you're a male. And you're straight. You have no excuse. You have absolutely no excuse. You are a white, straight male that was raised in a great home. You have no excuse to be a bum. Okay. Unless you are mentally disabled, you have no excuse.
I wouldn't call you a bum if you're mentally disabled.
Right.
To me, like, and the reason I use the word bum, I mean, I like using that word, but a bum is somebody who's just like, you don't do anything.
Yeah, you're lazy.
You got nothing going on in your life.
You're lazy because here's the thing. I'm lazy, but I work.
But you work.
I'm lazy, but I work my ass off.
Yeah.
So if I have no excuse and I'm physically I'm able-bodied, what's yours?
I mean, if Earf is working
white.
5 days a week, we can all do it.
Nobody got
Trust
an
me.
excuse. Okay, nobody. So plus you're white, plus you're male, plus you're straight, plus you're able-bodied. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You have no excuse.
Yeah, I just think, and again, I love Black women. I celebrate Black women. You know I do. I just think it's a false narrative to just assume that men are trash or Black men are trash.
I'm not saying that all Black women don't leech and don't roach or bum off of people. I'm not saying that.
And I don't even agree that most women are taught to be independent. I don't think that's true.
That is where we are going to differ every time. We're just going to.
I mean...
Because as a woman, I'm telling you that is how women are raised. That is how women are raised. That's how I would raise. That's how I would raise my daughter. Yeah. Don't depend on nobody. Like my kids are not going to be allowed to watch princess movies because there's too much dependence on men to come and save the day. No, that's not happening.
Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and roll that back and I'm gonna take that back.
Okay.
I will take that back because I'm not. First of all, I didn't grow up in a household with any girls. So what am I really speaking on? Okay,
well, your mother.
I mean, who is the most educated person in the house?
So hello.
So yeah, like
it's proving the point.
Right. I mean, my mom has lived on her own since she was 15 years old.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's proving my point.
When I was 15.
And when did your father move out?
When he married my mom.
So what are we doing here?
He moved into her house. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Right.
Like, it's not an argument to be made. And I'm not saying that that just proves everything I'm saying is right.
Wait. Let me clear that up though. That doesn't prove your point.
I just said it does not prove my point.
That men, because we're talking about the woman, right? It doesn't make my dad a bum.
No, but it's just funny
because that nigga has worked all his life too.
And he has. And I know that he has. But it's just very interesting that my exact point that most men live with their parents until they are married was proven by your parents.
I don't think that's true, though.
Yeah, it was. It is proven. Most men do. They do. No, y'all are unicorns. Honestly.
We're not unicorns, bro.
Yes, y'all are.
There's a lot of us out here.
Y'all are rare.
I think
whether you want to agree to that or not. I think that's the
problem. I think I figured out the problem.
What?
I think I'm not even gonna just pick on you. I think people in 2021 have a narrow viewpoint on people. And all we have to base off of is what we know, what we see, what's around us, what's on our social feed, because
you're right in that.
I see a totally different experience in that.
I don't see, just personally, I don't see a lot of Black men. I do not, it's very rare.
You don't see it.
For two Black men, young Black men, to have careers and live on their own without roommates. That is very rare. Take the compliment.
Okay, but
that is extremely
without roommates because we were talking about not in their parents' house.
Y'all aren't in your parents' house and y'all don't have roommates. That's like a double. That's like a double whammy.
That's it's a slight flex. I ain't gonna lie, but
and it's
it's a slight. Hey.
And it's true though. Like I bet a lot of y'all's guy friends have roommates or still stay with their people, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying if we're talking about who's independent and who's not,
I'll be real with you. If I could have, I would have stayed in my mama's house a little bit longer.
Me too. I tell everybody, live with your parents until you live with your parents until you don't have to. But I'm just saying, and also, what I've noticed is a lot of, because, a lot of the people that I work with are younger than me. I've noticed, a lot of guys don't even think about moving out of their parents' house until they have a girl come in their life and say, let's get a place. Let's move out.
Why you pointing at me?
Because y'all know I'm right. Because, but dang, I'm just chilling here.
Ashton, you, Oh, we're not going to ask. I'm going to leave it alone.
What?
I'm going to match the gas.
What?
Don't leave him alone. I was just wondering if that was his reason.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, and that, like I said,
I didn't want to move out. I was forced out.
Okay, well, you know. But still, like, I noticed that a lot. I'm like, you never want to move out? No, but, like, my girl wants to get her own place because she's tired of coming over here. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I moved out. When I moved out, it was because I was I was in a serious relationship, and I told my dad, like, I think I want to marry this girl. He's like, not if you stand with me. I'm taking care of you. How you gonna take care of a woman? So I was like, all right, it's time to be a man. I moved out, started taking care of myself. That relationship didn't work out, but at least I learned a valuable lesson about, manning
And you
up.
had a father that was like, I was in this predicament.
Right.
I have a girl and I'm going to move out because I have somewhere to go. But he was probably thinking, well, shoot, if his wife, your mom, did not have a place, I got to get a place for us to live.
Yeah.
And he was lucky enough that your mom did already have a place. But it's like you had a father that pushed you to do that. A lot of men, also a unicorn you are, don't have that in place. So they're like, dang, I am just going to stay with my mom.
But see, and let me go ahead and get this narrative out there too, though. Because like my parents, the reason why, again, that narrow point of view, I'll admit I have a narrow point of view. The reason why I'm so big on family and I think the way I think about marriage is because, like, since the beginning, my parents, they've been a team. So when they got married, my dad was the one that had to be the one to work while my mom went to school because she wanted to be a teacher. So, and she kept popping out kids, So she was at home taking care of the kids and going to school and doing that. And so they definitely worked together. And that's why even though I believe that the man should be the man of his house, my dad has always taught me that. However, why are you smiling like this?
I'm listening.
Why are you smiling like that?
I'm listening.
However, it doesn't mean that you got to put limitations on what the wife does, or what it like the dynamic can be whatever you choose for it to be.
Then how are you the man in the house?
Because
if y'all are like an equal partnership.
Equal partnership, but you all play different roles.
So she's the woman of the house. So what's the difference?
She's the woman. I mean, whatever that means.
I don't know. It just sounds weird. It just sounds outdated. But I mean, I get it.
No, it's whatever it means for you. It's whatever it means for you. I'm sure you have certain things that you do in your house that your husband, he does other things. I mean, that's just it's just the way it is, you know.
Sure.
And it doesn't have
But
to
he
be
would never be like, I'm the man of the house. Like, my husband thinks that is hilarious. Like, when men have came to him, like men in my family, and have been like, I'm gonna teach you how to be the man of the house, he's like, like, he thinks it's funny. Because it's just like,
and that's what works for y'all,
80
though.
years old?
That's what works for y'all, though.
Yeah.
When I think about man of the house and what I was taught, like, you are the protector of your house.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, your it's more so responsibility. You have the responsibility of protecting your home, of kind of controlling the atmosphere in your home. Like, think about me. Okay, let's just make this about me, not about men in general. But I already know whoever I end up marrying is definitely going to be more emotional than me.
Probably, yeah.
Because I'm at the bottom percentile of emotional people that exist.
That's a little hard to, yeah, it's easy to do.
It's like, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, there's nothing wrong with this. But one thing about emotional people, okay, they tend to make decisions off of their emotions.
Okay.
Like someone.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And you need balance. You need someone who's going to balance that out. So in some instances, like me being an even-keeled person, I would take that as my responsibility to make sure that the atmosphere in my home is always even-keeled. Okay, so that's a very specific example of how I would consider my duties as the man of the house.
Okay. Got you.
But certain things that I'm not great at. Creating an emotional environment when it's needed. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm going to need someone who can do that. The
feminine energy.
Exactly.
To do that, right.
There's a reason why it's called feminine energy.
Yeah.
because y'all have it naturally. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's not supposed to be this toxic masculinity thing where I'm a man of the house and what I say goes, and because it's not supposed to be like that.
But that's how a lot of men take it.
That's why I say,
because that's how it's been presented.
That's why I say it is whatever you need it to be.
Yeah.
It's whatever you make it.
Okay. Well, that's a better way of putting it than most people do. It's a good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm still not done with you. I still think you have an issue with black men.
That's fine. I'm not here to debate it.
Okay, well, we're done.
I'm not. No, I'm just saying, I'm not here to debate it. I've told you I think that men are socialized to act a certain way. And it's not just black men, but black men do have their own specific issues that I have with them. And I mean, if somebody has a problem with it, that's their problem, not mine.
Okay.
I just think women are better. Sorry.
I mean,
I do.
I think women are better too.
Then we're on the same page.
Yeah, I like women way more than I like men.
Exactly. How could you not?
How could you not?
How could you not?
I mean, seriously.
I mean, really.
I mean, listen, everybody in this room agrees, okay?
Well, then good. Then I think that's
women.
fine. I mean, listen, if you're going to start a family, I'm just saying that I think that we need to break the way that we socialize women and boys. A lot of times, especially being the first daughter, we're the second moms. We're we're supposed to be great examples, blah, blah. We don't get that. Girls will be girls. We don't get that.
See, I don't have that experience because I didn't have any sisters.
Right. So it's and I have brothers. I have 3 brothers. So it's I see the way that I was raised and I see the way that they're raised. And I'm oh, y'all got it good. Y'all got it made in the shade. I was not allowed to do half of the stuff that y'all are doing. And I don't act the way that y'all act, even though they are great kids.
Yeah.
I was raised so respectable, so you don't get in trouble at school, you don't get out of line, make my life easier.
Okay, but I was too. And I know a lot of men that were.
Yeah. Well, that's
so
good.
It's not just all men. And again, it goes back to that narrow view of the world. All men are not raised like that. I was raised very respectfully. I was raised to take responsibility for my actions. I was raised to, to be that person. I was raised to be independent. I was raised to have a mind of my own. I was raised all the things that you're saying, the same. So I think that's just what you've seen.
But I think that our upbringings were also, even though they were very different, they are a lot of the same. We were both raised in the church. We were also raised by older people. I was raised by my grandmother. She's probably the same age as your parents.
No.
No?
My mom was 17 when she had me.
But how old is she now?
She's not even 50 yet.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah.
But still. Wait, how old's your dad?
My dad just turned 50.
Okay. So they're a little older, but your dad's at least a little older. When you have that older, I don't know, maybe it was because I was raised by my grandma, but you are raised how they were raised. You're respectful. Yeah. And that's why when people do say, people did say whenever I was younger, oh, you're mature for your age because I was raised by an old lady. Of course I'm going to be mature for my age.
I just hate that. I don't like that. Mature for your age. Because, okay, this is why. I think I realized the reason why I don't like that.
Why?
Because it implies that you're not supposed to be mature. You're supposed to be immature.
I see what you're saying. Well, some people think that. I mean, if you're a kid, you should be a kid.
You should be a kid.
So, I mean...
But it's okay to be the kid that does everything they're supposed to do. That doesn't mean that you're older. I think it puts a weird... It's weird for your psychology. I mean, obviously you didn't turn out bad, so it didn't hurt you to hear that.
But I mean, I know what you're saying.
But I just don't like. I think since I've worked with kids, specifically with teenagers, especially when I started as a teacher and it's got to see these kids grow up for the last 2 years. No, you need to be a kid as long as possible.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I do agree with that.
I don't want you to grow up too fast.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that you're so mature for your age, because you know what? What I've seen young girls, they say, well, I'm mature for my age, so I can't deal with none of these people. I need to deal with people older than me.
Older than you.
And I can't tell you how many. Ooh, I can say this. I think that there are a lot of young girls who are out here talking to grown men.
Is that their fault? Oh, because we can get into that. Because I had that issue. That is not their fault. I don't care how fat. I don't care. It's the adults' fault.
Well, okay.
They're children.
Yes.
100%.
Okay. I thought you were about to blame it on men again.
Well, I mean, is it men that are talking to these young girls?
Okay,
because whenever I was young,
no. We're gonna blame. We can't blame it on all men. We're gonna blame it on those disgusting pedophiles.
Those disgusting men.
Every time a student tells me,
don't wear it.
Every time a student tells me allegedly about someone that they are allegedly talking to that's older than 18, I'm like, oh, your pedophile boyfriend?
Yeah, the guy that's grooming you. Because
you need to know that's not okay.
Yeah, the guy that's grooming you.
Right.
100%.
Like that. No, that's never going to be okay.
Again, if the shoe does not fit, then don't wear it. So yes, the men that are talking to these young girls, because I remember being 12 years old and guys being like, dang, I thought you were 18. You're disgusting.
Okay, exactly.
You're disgusting.
That's the point. Oh, you look old for your age. Yes.
Like, it's gross.
It's weird.
It's so weird. Like, you're ugly and you're old, so leave me alone. Like, that's very, like, common. That's a very common thing.
You know me. I feel weird when I'm talking to somebody that's like 24.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that, but that should be normalized. That should 100% be normalized. And it's like, they're so like stunted, like mentally, like their growth mentally is like, they're still a teenager. So they think they can still talk to you. Like, no, you're nasty and you need to like go to jail.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
This conversation went
it did.
all
I
over.
was gonna say something. What were we just talking about? I was definitely going to say something to you
as I sip my sweet tea
that we were talking about. I can't remember, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that they're socialized differently, and I hope it's different in the future. I hope that people start raising their sons to be a little bit more like independent. I do.
You know, honestly, I've heard somebody say this, but I think most men are naturally independent because people usually aren't that willing to help men.
You're okay. That's not wrong. They aren't.
So you have to be independent.
Like, unless they're your family.
Yeah. Why do you think there's so many homeless men? Because they're and again, I'm not knocking this. You got plenty of women's shelters, and I think that's perfectly fine because I think the chances are higher that a woman has a child that she's taking care of as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's a whole nother problem. Fatherlessness is a whole huge issue that I can't stand. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what I'm saying is, when it comes to independence, I think a lot of men have to be independent, even if they're not taught to be. They have to be. I
don't agree because they usually find a woman to latch onto. Well, and like I said, I do think that if you go downtown, any like major city, and you go downtown, there's going to be majority dark-skinned black men that are homeless. Yeah. Period. And that is because of what society has done to dark-skinned black men. 100%. Like, and I don't think just because they're able-bodied, and I don't think that just because they, might not have a substance abuse problem, that they should not be homeless. Like you were saying earlier, like I don't think that just because somebody's able-bodied, like they shouldn't be homeless. If some people want to be homeless, let them be homeless. And sometimes there's just like events in your life that cause that kind of thing to happen. And because of what society does to black men, won't give them jobs, won't allow them education, they end up in that circumstance. But the ones that don't have an excuse, that are not incarcerated, and that there's nothing wrong with them, what is wrong with you? Yeah. Take your ass to work. Especially if you have people depending on you. If you don't have anybody depending on you, I don't care. I don't care. But if they're like, it's just there's no excuse. It's the same thing that I look at with white men. You're white, you're a male, you're able-bodied, you're probably straight, you're probably a Republican, and you're probably a Christian. If you have those 6 things going for you and you have nothing going on in your life, then you're just a shit person.
Oh my God.
Like, you have no excuse.
How do you know?
Because they don't. Because if they're not mentally disabled or physically disabled, then there's nothing wrong with them.
That's a crazy generalization, though.
and they don't have a substance abuse problem.
I see
Those
where
are
you're,
three
where you're
things.
coming from. I see where you're coming from.
You
but
know
still,
what I mean?
That's
Like,
a crazy
even if you're poor,
generalization.
because at the end of the day, like, out of all of like the races of men that I can think of, you could stack up all those things against Latino men, and it wouldn't matter. They would find a way to get it out the mud every time. Every time.
Black men too.
Okay, I'm talking about Latino men.
Black men too.
I think that black men and white men have a lot more in common than you're leading on. Y'all have a lot more in common. Y'all do. 100%. A lot. A lot of differences, a lot of similarities. You don't think that y'all have a lot of similarities?
Obviously, I don't.
Why not? Tell me. Because I see a lot of similarities. When I look at not just black celebrities, but when I do look at, like, if we're thinking of, like, everybody that we can, like, everybody that people know, you don't think that a lot of white male celebrities and black male celebrities have so much in common?
We talking about celebrities?
We can talk about celebrities because that's who everybody would know. We're not going to talk about anybody that we know specifically.
First of all, celebrities being a celebrity, being a rich person is a whole different demographic.
Okay.
You have a certain amount of money, and to an extent, your race doesn't matter that much.
Okay. Because it's a class issue.
Because of class.
Okay.
But you're sitting up here and legitimately telling me that black men and white men, I can't even say
have
it,
a lot in common? Yeah.
have a lot in common.
Yes. Y'all do.
I think you say that from a lack of black men in your life.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. But the black men that I do have in my life remind me a lot of the white men that I have in my life.
And that's the problem.
Okay.
And that is from your narrow view of the world. You ain't seen enough black kings.
Okay.
And you know what? That's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying, it sounds like the men that you've seen in your life have given you a certain viewpoint of all men that you don't, it's like you can't even see the separation between a white man and a black man. Like, it's so much, and you said it yourself, it is so much easier for a white guy to live his whole 20s reckless and then just get it together out of nowhere and you never even know his past.
You think that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's easier.
Okay.
I'm not saying but it's a whole lot easier than it is for a black man to do that.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Especially if you are a black man who was almost forced into that lifestyle because that's all you knew. How many white men do we know that choose, I want to live the hood life, so I'm going to go into this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to date this girl, I'm going to hang with these people, and then, okay, it's time for me to grow up, I'm going to dip out.
Oh, yeah, I know a lot of white women that have done that as well.
Black men don't have that same luxury all the time.
They don't have that privilege. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Like, we literally, it's almost like being black in America forces you to have to wear your trauma for your life at all times.
For the rest of your life.
You wear it for the rest of your life. Even when you get yourself together, even when you make it, there's always something. It's
hard for me to agree with that when it comes to men.
Because you don't know, because you don't have enough experience with black men.
Okay. That's fine for you to say that. I'm just saying, whether I look at poor or rich black men, I know a whole lot of black men.
I see it. I know a whole lot of black men who came from nothing and made something of themselves. They are taking care of families. They're not just taking care of their family, they're taking care of other. My dad is a great example. My dad produced 2 children in his life. Only 2 out of his own sperm. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he's taking care of a lot of people's kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, this man he came from a very, very humble household. Okay, one income, living in McNair, Texas, in the hood of Baytown, right, from nothing. and made something of himself. Has no education outside of high school, nothing at all. Made something of himself and takes care of not just his kids, but has taken care of other people's kids too. Still to this day, he's even taking care of adults too. So that's just one example that I've seen of a black king. All right. There's plenty. I got uncles who from nothing have turned themselves and made their family into affluent families. All right. So, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get all riled up.
No, get riled up.
I feel like you did this on purpose. You set me up.
No, I didn't.
What you put in this tea?
I didn't. No.
But
I didn't. I'm just listening.
So my point is, just because you haven't seen these type of black kings, don't mean they exist. That's all I'm saying.
Don't mean they don't exist.
Don't mean they don't exist.
Right.
Because they do. They out here. Like we are legit out here. There's plenty of guys who are my age, who are younger than me, who are really trying to do something great with their life. I feel like I am blessed. Just by I think about it all the time. Just by having two parents, I'm blessed.
You are.
Way more blessed than a lot of people. Just by having two parents in the household that both worked. That automatically puts me at an advantage. And I thank God that even when I was messing up, that I never went too far and I got it together and was like, okay, let's take advantage of everything that I've learned, of all this wisdom, of all of this. Even if, when I graduated college, when I graduated high school, my parents may not have had a whole lot to give me, just yet, but I at least had the wisdom and knowledge and everything that they've put into me to be a young king. You know what I'm saying? And still, at 30 years old, I still have to worry about what society thinks about me at all times. So no, we are not the same as white men. Period. We are not the same. And I'm not gonna say some of us. I'm not gonna say majority of us. None of us are the same. We're just not the same.
And that's where we'll agree to disagree. Because I do think there are similarities.
You wouldn't even know.
I would know.
Anyway.
I would know. No. Let's keep going. Because I have an example, and I'll ask you a question about it. Okay. So my grandfather is one of those men that you're talking about, an affluent man, an affluent black man. Got his family out of the projects. Eventually retired from oil and gas. Lives on a golf course. Very, very well taken care of black man. Right. Has plenty of kids. I'm glad that he did that. That's great that he did that. He also had another family while he was doing that. Had my dad. My dad is not that. My dad has a bunch of kids, takes care of none of them, and I don't even know where he works or if he has a job. So what is his excuse? Not just my dad, but I have tons of examples that I can give you of my girlfriends that are black, their dads are black, that are affluent, and that are also not fathers. Now, this doesn't just go to them. There are a lot of my white girlfriends that have dads that are in their lives, but don't have any relationships with them. What are their excuse?
No excuse. And I agree with you. And this is not about making excuses. But you gave me two examples of poor fathers.
Right. Even though one was
who has
affluent
money and one who doesn't.
Who does not. Both that strive, well, I'm not going to speak for my grandfather, but one that I know strives to be seen like a white male. And I'm not going to put anybody else's business out there, but I have a couple of black men in my life that I know maybe not consciously, but subconsciously work to be respected like white men.
You know what? I'm not even gonna hold that against them either.
Okay, that's the similarities that I see.
It's not a similarity.
It's power, it's money, it's respect.
There's a difference between being entitled to something and wishing you were entitled to something or striving to be entitled to something.
Exactly.
The thing is, as much as I try, you know what? We talked about celebrities earlier. What society tends to show us all the time, using celebrities as an example, is that it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to always be a nigga. Jay-Z said it Still nigga. It doesn't matter how much money I got. It doesn't matter that he's a multi-billionaire at this point. It doesn't matter. They gonna still look at him as the black man. It doesn't matter. So, yes, there's a lot of privileges that you have now. Yes, there's a lot of great things going for you. Yes, there's a whole lot of that. But you will never be a white man.
Do you think that that's true, though? Do you think that Jay-Z, that people really look at him like that?
He will never be a white man.
No, for sure. But do you think that he uses that to gain something with black people? Like,
Absolutely.
Do you think that,
and there's no problem with it. I got no problem with it.
Okay.
Because
I think it's a tactic, but...
Okay, great. I have a tactic, too. I code switch. A lot of us do that. Okay. It's a tactic. And you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Because we got to use our tactics. The thing is, he's done enough for enough people for me to do. I've seen his track record. To where it's fine. He's not hurting anybody from doing that.
You don't think that it's manipulative? Whenever he's working with companies that are literally having black boys cut their dreadlocks in order for them to create a better life for themselves?
Being a public figure is already manipulative.
But I'm asking, do you think that telling black people, oh, I'm still a nigga at the end of the day, nobody looks at you like that, Jay-Z. You're looked at like a billionaire. So it's not fine for you to work with companies that cut young black men's dreadlocks so that they'll have a better life.
Never seen that before.
Well, I'll show you later. Did it... So I find that to be just a little manipulative. And I find people like P. Diddy that say that they want to circulate black wealth and like black money through black communities when his PR team is white, his lawyers are white, his team is white. Like, when do we get where it's like, okay, you're not being completely honest with your people? Like, that is whenever I say that there are similarities, because it is not with just black men and white men. All men, whether it's power, respect, money, it's like they yearn for it, and I don't understand it.
Because you don't yearn for that.
No.
I don't necessarily yearn for that either.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're a rich white man, if you're a poor white man, if you're a straight white man, if you're a gay white man, if you're whatever. Being a white man is almost always better than being a black man.
It is always better. It is. It is a privilege. But that doesn't mean that there's not similarities.
It's not the same. I don't hold that against someone for wishing they were like that.
Oh, I guess that's where we differ.
It's not a good thing. Like if my child ever said, I wish I was white, I would have a problem with that. Because I would want to instill in them the pride and joy of being a black person. So no, I'm not okay with that, but I understand the sentiment. And the thing is, in our society, you look at corporate America. The rules of corporate America, not the knowledge that you should have for a job, but like how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to act. It really just means you need to be a Eurocentric man.
Yeah, for sure.
Even for women.
Yeah.
Like black women are even told you need to be more like a Eurocentric man if you want to be successful.
Yeah, I felt extremely uncomfortable whenever I worked in an office.
So the whole point of our society is to strive to be like a white man. So I don't hold that against you for wanting that. I don't hold that against anybody. I'm sorry for you. I feel bad for you because you shouldn't, but I don't hold that against you. But you cannot say that's the same as having the privilege to do whatever you want and still wake up and say, well, I'm still white, so I got a chance at the end of the day.
I'm not saying that that's necessarily what makes them the same, but I do find common themes. Like, do you think that white women and black women... There's common themes
in everything.
Do you think that black women and white women are the same?
They're not the same.
Do you think that they want to be the same?
Yes.
You think that black women want to be like white women?
Absolutely.
What?
No. If we're talking about...
What?
Not all, but some black women want to be like white women, yes.
In what way?
I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah, because I'm confused.
But it's true.
Okay, but it's crazy for me to say that some black men want to be like white men. But
I didn't say that was crazy.
Want to be. So then,
I agree with you.
So then why not? Oh, well then why were you angry? You said that there's no similarities.
No. That's the part. You're saying they are the same.
I'm saying I find common themes between them, yes.
You asked me two different things. Are black women the same as white women? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Are there black women that want to be like white women? Yes. Are there black women that want to be looked at and desired and respected like white women? Yes, there are. Yes, there are.
Desired, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But I don't think that's a crazy statement. I don't think
It's
that's
not crazy on either side. No,
Right.
it's not crazy. But the other question you asked me, are black women the same as white women? No. Are there similarities? Of course, yeah, we can find similarities in anything. The fact that they're human, they're similar, okay? But are they the same? No. Are black men the same as white men? Absolutely not.
Well, then maybe it's the language. I think that I don't find black women wanting to be like white women. I find it the opposite. I think that white women want to be like black women. But I definitely see themes in black men wanting the same as white men. I don't think that that's like, or whether I said the same or they want to be.
Wanting the same thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Wanting the same thing, yes. Are they the same as white men? No. Are they respected the same as white men? No. Are they regarded the same as white men? No. No, they're not.
So wanting the same.
Wanting the same things that white men have. Yes.
Yeah.
Wanting the things that a man in America wants. Absolutely. Wanting the American dream. There's nothing wrong with wanting that.
Mom.
You may not want that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with wanting the American dream. You know why? Because from the time you're born, you're taught this is what you should strive for.
Right. It's ingrained in you.
Right. And this goes back to the whole independence thing. That is really a Eurocentric American thing. I know plenty. Listen, the school I work at is very multicultural. I know plenty of young girls who are already engaged to be married.
Oh, that's crazy.
In arranged marriages.
That's
because
nuts.
that's their family. That's
the fact that it's arranged is nuts.
Listen, who am I to say? That's what they're taught. And that's that light looks great. Oh, because it's coming right here. It's the sunlight. But who am I to say that that's crazy or if that's their society,
their culture?
Because the thing is, what's crazy to me is all the things that I believe in that are American, that are Eurocentric, and the fact that America actually hates me and my kind, and yet I still go hard for that culture.
Right.
So they probably look at me like, that's nuts.
Yeah, like, why do you even believe in that?
So, bottom line, what I'm saying is, no, black men are not the same as white men. It doesn't matter how you twist it. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It doesn't matter. I remember, you know this person too. I remember this one guy. We had some.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. We always talk about him.
We had some underlying issues. He's a white man.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
He's a white man.
Okay.
We had some underlying like tension because he always thought.
I'm listening.
He always thought he was better than me. Okay? Like, even though I was, not to stunt, but I was more educated than he was. Mm-hmm. Right? When we talk about spirituality and ministry, I had a whole lot more ministry experience than he did. Like, I probably have accomplished a whole lot more than he has. But because he looked the part, he was able to be in circles that I could never be in. Mm-hmm. And so he automatically thought he was better than me. Mm-hmm. He always treated me like I was less than, like I needed his help for something. No, I got everything I need. You know what I'm saying? Like you are the least, like this is a person that spent a whole lot of time in prison, spent a whole lot of time doing the wrong thing, spent a whole lot of time,
oh, never mind. I don't know who you're talking about.
Spent a whole lot of time like cheating on his wife, paying for hookers, being on drugs, all. But now because you cleaned yourself up in a couple months and you put on a nice polo shirt and some jeans and some cowboy boots and you got yourself a haircut and here I am, a nigga with dreads and wear Nikes every day. You think you better? Mm-hmm. No, you're just white.
Yeah,
that's it. You're just white. You know what I'm saying? So that to me. That's what tells me we are not the same. We can never be the same.
So when I say the same, I mean wanting the same things. Not necessarily that you're looked at the same or that you are the same, but you strive for the same goals. I don't even think white women and black women strive for the same goals at all. I don't think there's any similarities. And I
Disagree.
definitely see it between, you disagree, that's fine. I see it between black men and white men. I do. I see them striving for the same thing. I see them having the same goals.
What is it that black women strive for that white women don't?
I think independency.
See, a lot of white women want to be independent, but okay.
I don't, but okay. And I have a lot of more white women in my life than you do, I'm sure. I see building dynasties. Don't see white women doing that. Innovation, creativeness, like just literally being their own
You're just
person.
speaking on black people, period.
Yeah, that's fine. But right now I'm talking, well, I think black women more so than black men most of the time.
Building
as far
dynasties,
as
being
dynasties,
creative, that's black men and black
people
women.
Creative and innovative for sure. But as far as like independency, dynasties, I see that with black women. I see black women starting their own business every day. Every day, successful. Successful is probably the key word, black businesses, every day. So I don't see white women doing that.
I see black men doing that too. I think you're just expressing a difference between black and white.
I see black men creating things, I do, and being innovative for sure, especially online. But I'm talking about black women and white women. I don't see that with white women at all. I see white women want to be taken care of, being mothers, being housewives, and that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I don't see them having the same goals whatsoever. If that was the case, then black women wouldn't be, what were they? I think they said that black women were like the most educated, maybe last year before last, not white women, and the biggest entrepreneurs of the country. I don't see that with white women at all. So I don't see any similarities between them at all. Goals, anything.
I think if you're able to see those differences between black women, white women, you should be able to see the same differences or similar differences between black men and white men.
I do think there are a lot of differences. I do. As far as privilege, it's not anything that they can help. It's systematically white men have an advantage over black men for sure. But I don't see anything that is voluntarily different as far as like their goals.
Really?
I don't.
What are the goals of a black man versus a white man? And then we can get off of this
I
because
think
I'm sure
that
people are
white
tired
men
of
and black men both want to be powerful. I think there's a power struggle, really, because white men see black men becoming more powerful and they don't like it, so they're trying to become even more powerful. So there's like a power struggle. I think that there's a lot of animosity towards each other. So as far as like money goes, like we know that black men get paid less than white men. So whenever there are like black men that are getting paid more, like it's a money thing. It's really ultimately about power. And I think that comes with all men, but I don't see like a lot of like Asian men, Southern Asian men, like Middle Eastern men in the equation. Latino men really, I mean, sometimes, but like not really. It's really, especially in America, maybe not worldwide, but like in America, there's definitely a power struggle whenever it comes to like white men and black men, for sure. And their goals are money at the end of the day, and power and respect.
So I think there's a Venn diagram going on here, some crossfading going on. Because you see these similarities because that's like a man thing.
Yeah.
Men naturally want to be powerful, want to be respected. Mm-hmm. That's just a man thing. But then when you're comparing black women to white women, you're just talking about black traits. Black people want to create dynasties. Black people want to be entrepreneurs. Black people want to be creative. That's a black people thing. Not just a black women. So shout out to black women for being that as well. But you're comparing black men to white men and we're only talking about the stuff men do. But then you're comparing black women to white women and just talking about blackness.
No, I was saying that white women want to stay home and be mothers and be housewives. I don't think that all black women want to do that. I think they can do that. But while they're doing that, they're also creating dynasties and creating businesses and like being independent, working for themselves, not wanting to work for people, not wanting to work for white people.
Right.
That's not something that white women are doing.
So I think if you were to create a chart and you were listing out all these characteristics, white man, white woman, black man, black woman, a lot of the stuff you're giving credit to black women for is black men out here doing the same thing. It's blackness. You're describing blackness.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I see it more often in black women. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to sip my tea and get up out of here.
Okay. Well, that was a great pod, you guys. Really appreciate you guys for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments.
We're definitely about to put on some boxing gloves as soon as the cameras go off.
Why? Listen, I can go way further into it, but I feel like this pod is really long. But we can talk about it off camera. But I'm just saying.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. I just want to box.
Okay.
But we should.
I'll probably win.
I don't hit women, so I just let you hit me.
Well, there you go. Then I would win.
But we definitely got to get a bag for it, though.
For sure.
Like your boy. What's your boy's name?
Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, no. The other one's your boy, right? Jake.
No, that's your boy.
Logan. What's the
Pauls.
One? The Pauls. The Paul brothers.
Yeah, I'll be Floyd and you can be Jake. And then I'll win.
Okay, anyway. Goodbye.
Bye.